Hey guys, it's Spray Coyote, bringing you an install video today on a two-step on a 2010 Mustang GT. It's owned by my boy over here, Adrian. What's up, fool? All right, so I've seen a lot of install videos on YouTube, and they go over basically how to hook up your wiring harnesses to your coil packs, and they tell you a couple different variations of installs for the plug connectors, but they don't really go over the big juicy details that you guys need for these wirings over here, and that's what I'm gonna kind of cover today. This has already been installed for you, so I'm gonna be talking to you guys through it. So once you guys get this set up, you guys are gonna find a mounting point for your actual two-step. We mounted it on the other side of this little truss strut tower brace, but this isn't exactly where it needs to be mounted at. You can mount it over here. Here's a little bracket, a little area down in here. So once you guys find your mounting point, you guys can set it up like that. But this is how we set it up for this application. So if you guys read the instructions, there's actually a couple different ways that you guys can connect these connectors. The instructions first stating that the black should be to the red and that the gray should be to the tan. But as you see in our case, that's not the case. What happened was when we wired it up that way, we did receive a light, which is the reason why we didn't do this in the first place. So we tried to wire it up and nothing was happening. We couldn't get the two-step to engage. So my buddy Adrian over here, he said, fuck it, let's just switch the wires and see what happens. So he ended up doing that, and the two-step fucking works. Hoorah. So for a 2010 Mustang GT with the V8, we have red going to gray, and then tan going to black. This is pretty self-explanatory. If you guys can't figure this out on how to wire your own coil pack, yeah, you guys really shouldn't be working on your car over here. So with all that said being done, we're gonna come over here. So you guys are gonna see a white with a blue stripe, a solid blue wire, and a black wire. This black wire is gonna be your ground, which you guys can connect to a little adapter right here. So if you guys look on the little side of this little panel right here, there's a couple different bolts that you guys can use. You guys can use this one, or you guys can use that one. We just chose to use this one. So I have two grounds actually going to this, because right now we have it wired up to go off of a switch versus our clutch. But I'm going to show you guys how to do it both ways, so that way you guys know how to do it and you guys aren't hunting through multiple videos and figuring out, oh, well, I wanted mine wired up with the clutch. All right, so basically you're going to attach your ground to here. Once you get that all set up, you're going to feed both the blue and white wire through this little grommet right here. And that's going to bring you through the little firewall and bring you over here. Now, I have this wired up off of a switch. Now, this switch you can buy from AutoZone, Harbor Freight. You can buy any hardware store. You can get any switches. And basically all you need is just two prong settings. One for a ground and then one for the signal to come in. So once you guys get those two wires fed through that little firewall up there, you're going to feed them through here, and then you guys are going to have a couple different options. You guys can choose to go off of your clutch, or you guys can choose to go off of a switch. I'm going to show you guys real quick how you guys would wire it up in case if you guys did want to go off your clutch. So basically what you're going to have is you're going to have a little adapter. You know, having that little blue piece? Oh, right here, I got it. So this little blue adapter right here, right? You guys can take one of these or something like this. Something very cheap that you guys can buy also at AutoZone or any local hardware store to basically tap into a wire. Now, according to the instructions, this wire right here is supposed to be if you're wiring it up to a clutch. Now, I know it's manufacturer's instructions, but kind of oddly enough, this is not the correct wire you would use. It would be the solid blue one right here. So this is the one that you're looking for. Now this wire is the one that you're going to be using whether you guys either use a clutch or a switch. So basically, I'm going to take this end off right here. So you would take this end, which it wouldn't have this connector. It would either have something like this or something like this. And you guys are going to locate your clutch sensor, which just so happens to be this guy right here with this little push-in shit. So basically what you guys want is to, when you press in your clutch pedal, it'll engage a two-step, and you guys can basically do some consistent launches and shit. So you guys see you have a black and yellow wire and a blue and orange wire. The black and yellow is going to be your ground. Okay, the black and yellow wire is going to be your ground, and the blue and orange stripe is going to be your power. Now, if you guys are looking underneath here and these are different colors, it's not a big deal. Just try to get a schematic, a wiring schematic, which you can ask a buddy if you guys are into doing installs on yourself. I'm sure you guys have some friends in the automotive world. If not, it's not a big deal. Hopefully they match up, but you know, it's not going to hurt to choose either or. You have a 50-50 chance of getting it right. So basically, you're going to take and you're going to tap into this blue and orange wire right here. This will complete a circuit in the two-step that when you guys press in your clutch, it will activate it. That's how you wire up your two-step for the clutch. Now, if you want to wire it up off of a switch, also no big deal. It's a little bit easier, actually. You pull your wire through the solid blue one. You put on a little connector, a little cheap connector. It doesn't really need to be anything expensive unless you guys want it to be. Now, the only thing with this is you have to supply your own ground wire. Now, this black wire right here is not coming off of the two-step. So don't get it confused with this black wire right here, because they're not the same wires. If you guys look closely, I have a second ground wire right here that I ran all the way down with these wires right here through that firewall. So I have one ground wire going through that firewall right there, and I have the other ground wire that comes off the plug, and they're both connected to this little bolt right here, and this is where I have the ground at. That ground wire is what you're going to attach to your switch. Now, if you look closely on here, sorry about the little glare, you see on and off. So when it's closed, obviously it's off. You flip up the switch, you push it on, and then you're ready to party. This is how you wire it up for a switch. Pretty simple enough. I would do all the testing just like this first, and then find a mounting spot where you guys would want your switch at. A couple good locations to think about. Somewhere underneath here that's really quick to access. There's not a lot of areas that would pinch your wires, so that way you could possibly get a short later down the road. Now, keep in mind, you probably have, if you have a manual transmission, sometimes a switch might not be ideal, because you have to have the clutch in, and you kind of got to let out the clutch as you turn the switch off at the same time to get a consistent launch. If you want to use your clutch pedal, I just showed you guys how to wire it up. Blue and orange wire. So once you guys get this all set up, what I would recommend is you guys coming over here, setting it somewhere low, maybe 2,500 RPM or something. Set this bad boy. Now, this will be solid red when you turn your guys' car on. And then, does it turn color when it's engaged?
It's only red when it's engaged.
Okay, sorry. Belay that. It only comes on when the two-step is engaged properly. So, once you turn your car on, this light should be off. But once you flip a switch, if it's on a switch, light should come on, engage the two-step, and you guys should be able to rock. Now, if you guys are doing your clutch, same shit. Car should be on, two-step should be off. Once you guys push your clutch pedal in, two-step should come on. And whatever you guys have it set at is where it will hold your RPMs to. Now, do not sit here and be cutting a bunch of wires underneath here. There shouldn't really be anything to solder. You should have to splice into one wire only. If you're finding yourself splicing into a bunch of wires, then you're probably not doing the install correct. Now, troubleshoot this process, because this is a 2010 Mustang. If you have a 2011 through 14 Mustang, or if you have a 2005 to 2009, it might be a little bit different. The colors might be different, but the principles are going to be the same. You're going to find that sensor. It's underneath, no matter what your Mustang you have, or I shouldn't say that. From 2005 and up, for sure, you're going to have this sensor. Now, with that, you just got to locate it and find the power side, and then you'll be set up. That concludes the two-step install video, guys. Again, this is Spray Coyote giving you another badass video. Let me know what you guys thought about it in the comments. Like and subscribe. As always, peace out.